What up, is Marcus Dynasty Bull Dads? We have another daily video of Dynasty here for you. Today, we have a little bit of something different. We have the Dynasty Dads first rookie draft here tomorrow. And so I have the first, or I don't have the first 12 picks. I've gone through the first 12 picks, and I'm going to do a mock draft of what I think our league is going to do. And then on Monday, we can compare that of what I thought the league was going to do compared to what it actually did. And there's going to be some trades that happen probably pre-draft, in the draft. Of course, that's going to change things a ton, but I always like to get kind of a general mock draft. And I like to do this with my leagues as well. Again, I've never seen any of these guys draft, so it's kind of hard to predict. I'm just going based off of rosters, based off of what I could potentially do or what I would do, and I'll give you the thought process behind it, and maybe it'll help the few players, some of the players that are in our league. Maybe it'll help them actually draft those players or see what kind of mindset we have. 101. Let's just start off right off the bat here for you guys. We have Joyner. He has the first pick and the 12th pick here. He is a team that has some very big cornerstones. I mean, we're talking Javonte, JT, and Mahomes. Like, he's got some big pieces. And we are a 12-team super flex league. So this is our going into our second year. I think that, yes, two amazing running backs. We do have a flex position besides the super flex spot here. So I am going to take Breece Hall here. I know that it is tough when you don't have any elite wide receivers, in my opinion, or any cornerstones. At least right off the bat, I didn't see any. So Breece Hall is the pick. 101, I'm taking Breece Hall. And I'm doing this in 99.9% of drafts because he is easily the most safe, or the safest and the best prospect player, all of that. I'm taking Breece Hall, and even he has put Javonte on the block, and I feel like that is a sign of him saying, I'm taking Breece Hall. I'm just trying to see if I can trade Javonte, or trade Breece Hall or Javonte in the future if you can't, for that wide receiver that you need, or try to get that into try to get another quarterback onto the roster. 102, 103 are the same team as our champion, Mr. Sharkbait. Ooh ha ha. His roster, he's got Josh Allen, he's got Josh Jacobs, CEH, Adams, Higgins, Derek Carr, he's got Kittle. So he has some solid pieces. His running back position is becoming, it's weak. I mean, he's Josh Jacobs and CEH. For a 102 team, it's awesome. I mean, for a 102 team, he's got really foundational pieces here. 102, 103, you could take two wide receivers here. You really could, but with you having Higgins already, and I mean, you have Adams, like Jacobs, we don't know what's going to happen next year. They did not pick up his fifth-year option. CEH, if he doesn't explode here, you could really have a very weak running back core here. So I'm going to take Ken Walker as one of the two picks. And it really, on the tier 1 wide receivers, this is just purely a guess to try to figure out, is he going to take Drake London? Is he going to take Garrett Wilson? Is he going to take Treylon Burks? I think he's going to take Drake London. I think that's what majority of people would do in this situation. Not myself, but I think that's what the majority of people are going to do. So I think he's going to take Drake London. It's just purely a guess, but I think Ken Walker will be one of the first two picks here, or one of the first two picks that Sharkbait has, 102 or 103. So it could be flipped around, or one of these things could be traded away too. I could easily see one of these two picks being one of those draft deals of like, I need to get myself a already established running back or something along those lines, and I'm willing to trade one of those two picks away. And then a different team comes up and drafts a Garrett Wilson or a Ken Walker or a Jameson Williams or something along those lines, or Treylon Burks. All right, anyways, so we got Breece Hall, Ken Walker, Drake London. 104 is the Wood 88. This is a huge, I mean, he needs everything. He really needs everything, so we're going to just take best player that I think that he wants to take. So we're between Garrett Wilson and Treylon Burks. And I think majority, again, of the people, and this is where you have to understand, like, I have Treylon Burks, but I think people are going to take Garrett Wilson. So I think Garrett Wilson is going to go off here at the board at 104, and that's okay. Like, I think that's a good pick here for the Wood 88. Then we have Getem 2231. He has pick 5, but he also has pick 8, his own pick. He's a playoff team, so his roster is Stafford, Wentz, Judy, Deontay, and what in the world? Oh, Najee Harris. So, I mean, he has one stud running back. In this case, I mean, I could see, this would be where I could see having 105 and 108, I could see Kenny Pickett potentially being a pick here. I could even see James Cook being a pick here. But I am going to go with I think he's going to go boom here, and I think he's going to take Jameson Williams. I don't know why, I just have a feeling that he's going to take that type of player here. I could be totally wrong, but I think Jameson Williams goes here. Again, kind of an educated guess, but I think wide receiver is going to go here, still at 105. It could be the Treylon Burks pick here too. This is really a hard spot because unless there's a desperate need, I don't see. I mean, it could really be anybody in this kind of category, and I see that in a lot of drafts here. But sometimes you see a team that desperately needs a quarterback, and you're like, that's where Kenny Pickett is going to go. It's going to be hard here. 106. Kovacs has 106, 109, 110, 111. He has 4 picks, and honestly, Kovacs, seeing that he has all those picks, you have to think James Cook, Kenny Pickett here. And why is that? Is because 3. He's probably going to get 3 wide receivers at 9, 10, 11. I think there's a drop-off after James Cook. So when you think after James Cook and after Kenny Pickett, there is no RB that's kind of close to him in draft capital and stuff like that. And then Kenny Pickett, there's Malik Willis and stuff. There's a big drop-off after that. So with that being a thought process, I think he's going to take James Cook. This could be the Kenny Pickett route as well. But James Cook, 106, that's my guess. I think that would be a good kind of diversion. I understand that the rankings say, hey, take Treylon Burks, but I would take James Cook or Kenny Pickett knowing that I have 3 wide receiver picks that I'm likely picking at 9, 10, and 11, and knowing that I'm taking a different position at 106. Because I don't think James Cook, I think James Cook could go to 109, but he might not be. And the difference, between Treylon Burks and Chris Olave, Christian Watson, Sky Moore is not a drastic amount enough to make that risk. 107, high rollers. He's got Hurts, Fields, Evans, Sutton, Cook, and Kamara. He's got a good kind of older roster and positional players, younger into the quarterback position. And I understand that. I think he's just going to take best player available. The running back position would be great to fill in for Cook and Kamara, but if I'm him, I'm probably trading back out of this position. With Evans and Sutton, he already has good wide receivers. Probably Evans is around for a little bit longer. So, he doesn't really need Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett is probably the player that is going to be the taken here, though, with high rollers. Maybe not. I just don't see a running back. If he really likes a running back, I think he can trade out of this position and acquire a couple of seconds here to potentially get some second flyers. I wouldn't do that if I was him. I would either take Kenny Pickett or take a stud wide receiver here in Treylon Burks. I just have him mocking as taking Kenny Pickett. Getzmo comes back up, and I'm going to take Treylon Burks here. So he takes Jameson Williams, Treylon Burks, 2 stud wide receivers here to go along with Judy and Deontay, and he has Najee, Wentz, Stafford. So he's starting to build a good roster here through this draft here, and it just takes a couple picks. So now we have Kovacs. Again, he has Lawrence, Etienne, Lance, McLaurin, Claypool. I don't even think I mentioned his roster before. He has Lawrence and Lance, so his quarterbacks are good. That's why I didn't have him mocking Kenny Pickett. And Etienne is his only running back position of super note. And then you have McLaurin and Claypool, so you have one good wide receiver and one wide receiver. So that's why I had him take James Cook earlier, so he can take Sky Moore, Christian Watson, Chris Olave. He takes all 3 unless he trades one, which trading one would not be a bad idea. In fact, I traded 2 picks for Devontae Smith, 2 late. I think it was like 9 and 11 for Devontae Smith. Maybe that's how he got all these picks. But I thought I traded it to somebody else. Maybe I traded it to him. Anyways, so so he's got Lawrence, Etienne, Lance, McLaurin, Claypool, and now he's got 3 wide receivers, and he's got James Cook here. And then the last pick, Joyner again, between Jahan Dotson and George Pickens. He needs the wide receiver after taking Breece Hall, and he's got Javonte and JT. I think he takes George Pickens here. Could be a Jahan Dotson pick. Either one I like. So, again, that's the first round of the mock draft. I will let you know. There's probably going to be trades going on. So, if you're a Dynasty Dad member, if you want to tip off your hat, you can tip off your hat. Or you can give me like a little cold, warm, hot emoji down there, or symbol down there, or word down there. But, hey, if you don't want to, if you want to keep it quiet, that's totally fine. If I was a part of the first round, I would have definitely said, hey, this is where I'm thinking at this point. But I'm not in the first round. I traded my 2 first-round picks away for Devontae Smith before A.J. Brown came over. And I'm still okay with that opinion, that mindset, because I already have Chris Godwin, Jalen Waddle. I have Swift, Barkley, Dobbins. I have Watson, Goff, Tua, and Dak. Like, I have TJ Hawkinson. Like, I have a roster that I really just needed one wide receiver. I just wanted one solid wide receiver. I felt like that was one of my weakest spots, was wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 position. And I basically told people, right, going into before, like, a month, 2 months ago, I was like, that was probably like 3 months ago. Jeez, time flies by. That I just wanted a decent, good, and I liked Devontae, and I wanted a good wide receiver like that, and I was willing to trade my first for that, and that's what I got. So again, this is Marcus with Dynasty Fun Dads. Peace out. We will see you tomorrow, and it'll be Friday.